We're talking about crazy exes. Surely we've all had a crazy ex, right? Can we normalize having a crazy ex? 11 years later, he still calls my parents and grandparents trying to get my phone number. We only dated 2 months. Oh my God. Girl, you must be the greatest gift to this earth. Like, you dated for 2 months and he is that hooked on you? Tell me your secrets. Tell me. How do you get a man this hooked on you? Let us know. He decided I'd been possessed by demons, packed up our tent and took all our stuff away to who knows where, while I was elsewhere watching a band which was prearranged, the first night of Glastonbury Festival, because he decided I'd been possessed by demons. He thoughtfully left my sleeping bag out in the open for me though. Wait a second, you're at a festival. He thinks you're possessed by demons, so he packs up all your stuff, leaves, and just leaves your sleeping bag. I feel like substances are involved. They often are at festivals, and I'm just saying, I feel like maybe something was going on here. One of my exes was convinced that I was cheating on her with both my mother and sister. I'm gonna need a second. So whenever I spent time alone with either of them, I was bombarded with text messages and phone calls. When my mother, sister, and I went on a family vacation to New York City, she was insistent that I sleep in the hotel's fire escape because she thought I was going to have intimacy with them. It's truly not even funny because of how disturbing and messed up that is. I truly don't even know how you remained in a relationship like that for even a day, after the first time that was brought up to me. We were on and off for 5 years. After him becoming super controlling for the last year, going through my phone, following me to work and school to see if I was actually there, so on, he broke up with me and I realized enough was enough and I wouldn't take him back. I started dating my best friend shortly after. The following transpired from the day we broke up until now. It's been 5 years. So he's still doing that? Even if you're dating someone, he's still doing all this following and stuff? That's 10 years of his life that he is dedicating to that. Bro, move on. Move on. He stole my car keys and I believed I lost them. The first time I got back to my car from a movie with him while on a date. He had left for about 20 minutes twice during the movie. So he was gone for 40 minutes. He ran off as soon as the movie was over and I got back and it was parked in a different spot. Smelled like cigarettes and there were other people's clothes in it. I was so shocked I drove home and was too scared to tell my parents because I wasn't supposed to be at the movies. It was so unbelievable. I didn't know what to say or do. Like, he literally asked you on the date just so he could smoke in your car during the movie and hang out with people in your car. I don't know. This is so weird. I broke up with the girl I used the term broke up with loosely because I thought we were friends with benefits and she took it a little more serious. This is for people who believe that friends with benefits works. I'm never surprised when it doesn't. Anyways, she said that she was pregnant. I know, only a little crazy. But she maintained this for about 9 months. She would send me pictures of ultrasounds. And after the baby was born, she'd send me pictures of her breastfeeding and in little outfits. She maintained all of this until the baby was about a week old and I asked for the paperwork to have the kid added to my benefits and a DNA test. Once I tried to do what I thought was the right thing, absolutely, despite my freaking the F out, it came out that it was her friend's baby. Girl was nuts. So the breastfeeding photos, was she grabbing her friend's baby and putting that on her breast and being like, selfie? Or like, was she sending photos of a close-up of her friend and this is all very, very messed up. Like, either option is weird. She turned on me after I found out I was sterile. My ex-wife turned on me after I found out I was sterile, okay? When I came home with my diagnosis? Maybe I need another coffee. When I came home with my diagnosis from the urologist, I went to hug her. She pushed me aside and said, maybe we should get a divorce. From that point on, she would berate me about my condition. We would be watching a perp get arrested on the news and she'd say, bet he's got sperm. We'd drive by a homeless guy and she'd say, bet he's got sperm. We tried a few treatments for my condition. Each time she'd say, if this doesn't work, we'll get divorced. There were other threats. You should have left. That really hurts my heart because imagine if that was the other way around and a man was trying to belittle his wife because she couldn't get pregnant. Like, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. There are a lot of men out there who want to be dads and would probably feel terrible that they couldn't provide that for himself or his wife. I don't like that. I once dated someone for about 3 months before finding out that she had a second personality who she believed hunted demons. It's quite jarring to find out that you're literally dating 2 personalities. That would be jarring. Some people genuinely have multiple personality disorder. I can imagine that dating someone with that would be very difficult. I don't blame them, but that would be very difficult, especially if they believed they hunted demons. Like, that would be terrifying to try to deal with, because that's stuff you see in movies. But then there's people who just genuinely want to hunt demons. Like, they love chasing the paranormal. And also, not in my house. Please don't bring that in here. After 2 years of dating, I found out my ex-boyfriend had been cheating on me. So obviously I ended it, but he couldn't deal with that. He started harassing me, hacking into my Facebook emails, messaging my friends saying I am a whore, etc., etc. I mean, that totally makes sense. Had to move from, that's gotta be sarcasm. Had to move from where I was born / brought up just to be rid of the hassle. Put me off dating for a few years. Come on. Like, surely you have to get the cops involved at that point. Like, can they even do anything if someone's just like keeps hacking into your stuff, messaging all your friends? Like, what do you actually do in those circumstances? Because like, even if you got a restraining order, that's like like physical thing, but like him hacking and messaging your friends, like that wouldn't break the restraining order. I don't know how those work. Thankfully, knock on wood, I've never had to pull one of those out. Dated a super manipulator. We've all been there. Lied the entire time we dated. Found out she cheated on me with her boss. That was what started to peel away her false exterior. Soon after, found out she was addicted to painkillers when I had to miss work to go pick her up from her job where she had a seizure. Found out eventually she took a mystery pill she found. Her excuse for using pills, she claimed to have miscarried. Hint, hint, she didn't and was never even pregnant and couldn't cope. Found out the boss wasn't an isolated incident. She was also, let's call it screwing, my neighbor. Randoms from the internet, had a 55-year-old sugar daddy and an ex-con who was giving her the free pills. Routinely would cause fights with me and attack me physically. And due to her small, why can I not say this? Stature, hello. 4'10", I had no choice but to leave when it would happen. Signed me up for joint credit cards without my permission, then maxed them to the tune of $10,000 USD. Like, she forged your signature on them? How do you sign someone up for a joint credit card? Like, don't they have to like, well, they'd have to have your signature on the paperwork, but usually don't they have to have like 2 people in the room to sign off on that? I don't know why I'm trying to like justify it or like figure it out. It doesn't matter. It was done. How it was done? Doesn't matter. It was done. Okay. My ex was a pathological liar. He lied about everything. I once was at his apartment waiting for him to finish work. He had invited me over. Well, I am texting him all night trying to figure out why he wasn't there yet. He finally arrives at around midnight saying he has to leave right away to go fix something. The next day, he is tagged in tons of pictures at a bar with coworkers. Another time I showed up and my toothbrush was missing. He said my dog ate it and he threw it out, but it ended up being in his closet. I would try to figure out why he was lying, and he would make me think everything was in my head. He ended up sending me into severe depression where I was doubting everything about myself. I was sick to my stomach for weeks, lost a bunch of weight from puking and not being able to eat anything. Worst relationship ever. Oh. Pathological liars is a very interesting thing because like you probably even know someone like this, even if it was like a friend. There was this person in high school, and it was just like they would lie about things they didn't need to lie about. And that's what was so confusing. Like, cheaters lie because they don't want to get caught cheating. Because if they get caught, then it ruins everything. But like a toothbrush, going out after, like little things, like, but you don't need to lie about these things. I was 21, she was 24, and had a boy about 2 years old. She was basically normal, had a good job, took care of the kid okay. She was kind of a dim bulb though, not very bright. Me, that's me. I love that, a dim bulb. Like, she's still got a light on, it's just dim, it's very dim. That is me. I was bored in the relationship and really didn't want to become a stepdad to the kid, so I ended it. No prob. Run into her a month or so later at a bar, and we end up going back to her place for a night of ex intimacy. It rhymes though, ex, you know. I don't know what I can say on here. Next morning, she makes coffee and breakfast. I go to school, she goes to work. I get incredibly sick on the way to school, throw up multiple times, make it to school still puking, find the nurse/medical office, and vaguely recall being loaded into an ambulance. Come to in the hospital. A doc tells me I OD'd on an enormous amount of meth. Can I say that? Of an illegal substance, and had about 5 minutes left to live before they figured it out. Oh, by the way, there are some federal agents here to talk to you. Turns out she'd planned this whole thing and decided that if she couldn't have me, no one could. She went to jail, but got a reduced sentence for turning on the family member that was making and distributing the illegal substance. I think this one tops the cake. Top tier, very top of the cake. It's there. It's this one. And I was gonna ask, like, what ended up happening? Did she get caught? Thank you for updating me, because I was like gonna Google this. So I was sitting on my front porch with this girl who lived down the block. We were hooking up after I had recently broken up with my psychotic ex-girlfriend who was addicted to illegal substances for cheating on me. So this silver car rolls by that I recognize as her, the ex's friend's vehicle. And while it's rolling by my house, the back door opens and out rolls my screaming, crying psycho ex. This girl hits the concrete at 10 miles per hour and then jumps up with a baseball bat and starts screaming that she is gonna the other chick. I put the other girl in my house and tried to calm her down. Only a threat of a police call got her to leave. Why couldn't the vehicle just stop and she got out? Like, did she fear she wouldn't have enough time? I'm a little confused, but you know what? That is not the point of this. That's some crazy behavior. All right, guys, let me know if you ever had a crazy ex. You know, I want to hear stories. Leave their name anonymous. I understand we all don't want to expose our exes, even though we all could. Yeah, let me know. I'm out of here. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I will see you tomorrow.